So if you're here, you're probably somebody who's around my age. I am 54 years old. I have dated majority of my life anyone from 15 to 26 years younger than me. I keep myself in decent shape, which I'm working to improve. I think the biggest thing is that I don't look my age. You can I usually get somewhere around 36 to about 45, and that's because I'm bald. So a lot of people, if they're pretty smart, will realize if the guy's balding or your hairline is like pushed back, they know that you're older, but they can never really tell exactly how old you are. And I think that's the biggest draw that when I'm out in the dating market, these women that are closer to my age, one, I'm just not attracted to. I think one of the biggest things I think about is the possibility of starting a family again or having the option, right? When you're a man that is, I would say I'm middle class, have my own place, my own car, my bills are pretty decent. I don't really own any property, some decent investments. So for somebody who is 15 years to most recently 26 years younger than me, it's a stability thing. So when I look at what I'm attracted to, a lot of it is youth. I know there's a lot of podcasts out here that will talk about red pill, blue pill, but a lot of men that are in my age are looking for women to control. Um, and that's really not the case. It's just I'm pretty active, and I notice the men that are around my age that I've even grown up with start to fall apart. They don't take care of themselves. Their hygiene, the way they present themselves, it's just not up to par. They sit at barbecues all the time. They're drinking beer. They are getting bear guts and out of shape, can't touch their toes, their flexibility is shot. Pretty active, which again, like I said, I'm trying to stay in the gym and push myself to keep a decent physique. Have I slacked off? Yes, I have health issues. Things come up when you hit 50 plus. But the reason you probably clicked on this video is to really see the pros and cons of dating somebody 15 to whatever you're into, maybe even 30 years younger than you. So my most recent failed relationship, I would say, from dating a younger person, a lot of it was the attraction to the youth and the vibrant, the body, her beauty, sexually, not very many partners. That's like a big deal for certain men. This new generation, the numbers for these younger women are astronomical compared to when we grew up at our age. Girls around my age when I was in my 20s, you had to date them for 6 months just to get a Polaroid, of them in their underwear. And that was like a big, big deal. Now you just go on any social media website and these girls are showing this stuff and you're not even dating them. It's so easy. And if you want to see more, you have OnlyFans or whatever it is that you're into. But to get back on point, the the girl that I was dating was well off in the fact that the parents raised her right, had both parents, can cook, just had a lot of ambition in the beginning. Then you get to a point where when you're at my age, we have structure. Most men in their 50s and above have structure. You've lived through many things. You're your life experience is what really dictates how you're going to treat a person and help them grow. So as this person that you meet that's of a younger age is growing, you're looking at what can you do to help them reach whatever goals they want to reach, whether it's go back to school, start a business, they're youthful. If you're looking to marry them and have kids with them, what that looks like in the long run. Because again, as you get older and older, and they get a little older, things are going to be a little different. So you're looking at the long run of what that family dynamic looks like if you wind up having kids with that person. And you really want to make sure that you're secure in your job, in your career, that when you're gone, you have something to leave this person because things happen and they could be probably 40 something by the time you pass and they're kind of with your kids are still young, and you need to have something to leave them so they can continue taking care of your family while you're gone. So that's the biggest thing when there's an age gap. You're definitely going before that younger person as long as you're not in some crazy accident or something tragic happens with your health, but you're definitely going to pass before the person that you're with at that age. I think it comes down to when you look at the pros and cons of dating somebody younger. The cons become, are they a good return on investment? So every relationship you're investing into. And women who are younger have dated these young boys that I know you've seen them all. They playing video games all day. They can't keep a job. The girl is working and supporting the household. The boy is smoking or whatever it is that they're into, and they're taking the girl's car while she's at work and driving around and with their boys, or maybe cheating or whatever the situation is. So a lot of these younger girls get tired of that and they actually look for older men. So it's not even that men our age are looking for these younger women, is that sometimes they seek us out because they know there's some type of stability and they're tired of dealing with these younger men and the things they can't bring to the table, for support and some type of structure. When you first get with a woman of a younger age and she's lived in her area her entire life, it depends on the structure of the family. If the father was in her life, what kind of damage she's had from that family structure, because we all have it. We all go through things with our parents, and these girls sometimes that you do find are damaged, and you don't really notice that until you're in a couple years with them and you realize some of the things they've gone through, the traumas, pretty much. So you are basically a hero to them. You're showing them things they've never seen before, maybe because of the past relationships. They haven't been able to explore new places. You're taking them to parts of the country they've never been before. You're showing them new experiences. You're going places, and the girl never has to come out of her pocket for anything because you handle all that. And sometimes these are the girls that fall for you because they haven't experienced that with some of these other men they've been with that are of low value. Or the men just haven't, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you haven't gotten to that point where your financial situation or your career path has been set and you're starting to build your wealth, so to speak. So you get into these relationships with these young girls and you're basically just showing them something new. And something new to them makes you feel good because it's the first time that they're seeing it, whether you're bringing them to Florida or the Bahamas, Jamaica, just these little trips, and you're spending quality time with them, and they're not, working two jobs trying to make ends meet, and the guy's just sitting there smoking or just not really contributing to the household. And it's a toxic relationship that she's dealt with most of her life. You really are that person in shining armor, for that female of that age. Now, the cons of this, you spend a lot of money. If you cannot sustain the type of young woman that you pick, whether she's into hair, nails, outfits, trips, it will drain you. And you got to remember, if you show her a certain life in the beginning and then things happen in your life and you have to make some changes financially to like balance and make things continue to be a healthy and structured household, some women can't handle that. They're so used to what you used to give them that when you slow down, due to dynamic changes within, maybe something happened on her side and she can't keep a job, or you lost your job and have to change and maybe have lost some income, or whatever the situation may be, the girl starts to, if she's not truly in love with you, she starts to see other men of your stature and your age looking like they can provide more. And that's the cons of dating younger. It's very, very expensive. You really have to have your plan together. You really have to have a person who kind of understands, or you have taught them over time of spending time with you, what investing and saving and keeping yourself out of debt and not like splurging on things of no value. Like, if you don't really show them that and you just keep showing them the upside, the glitz and glamour, as you want to call it, that is the hardest part to overcome. And these girls will, at this age, find somebody else that's willing to give them more. They want more. You've shown them more. They get greedy. They just, it becomes a difficult situation, and then the arguments start. Then you become too controlling. Then you become narcissistic. Then you're overbearing. Then um, you're just not making them happy. Then you feel like a failure. And again, it's not you, it's the structure you're trying to implement or remind them that things have changed, and sometimes you got to slow down to move up again. And if they don't get it, things slowly fall apart. And that's the biggest take I can say from dating younger. You really have to pay attention to the woman you choose and be careful of what you show them in the beginning,